All right, if you're in sterile processing, you know how crucial your job is. But let's be real. Have you ever felt stuck, like you've hit a professional ceiling? Well, in this explainer, we're going to talk about a really powerful way to level up your career without leaving the department you already know like the back of your hand.
So here's what we'll cover. We'll start with that career crossroads feeling. Then we'll check out the usual ways people leave SPD. After that, we're diving into the specialist's path, becoming a CIS, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how you get certified and, of course, if it's really worth it. All right, let's just get right into it. You know, for a lot of folks in sterile processing, there's this moment, this point, where you kind of stop and think, is this my forever career, or is it just a stepping stone? If you've ever felt that, believe me, you are definitely not alone. And this right here, this quote from the sterile guy, just hits the nail on the head. He says, for a large portion of people, sterile processing is not the end game. And honestly, the turnover rates in the field kind of prove his point. A lot of techs see it as a temporary stop. And hey, that's totally fine. Your career path is yours to decide. Now, let me be crystal clear about something. The work you do, it is the absolute foundation of patient safety in the OR. You are the backbone of surgery, no question about it. But just because your role is vital doesn't mean you can't want more. It's completely natural to ask, okay, what's next for me? So, when techs do decide it's time for a change, where do they typically head? Let's take a look at some of the most common exits from the Sterile Processing Department, or SPD. And you can see why these make so much sense, right? I mean, with your deep knowledge of instruments, becoming a surgical tech or a vendor rep is a no-brainer. And that crazy attention to detail you have, that's perfect for becoming a nurse or even an infection preventionist. That's a really valuable role that not a lot of people think about. Look, these are all great career moves, but they have one thing in common. You have to leave the department you've already mastered. And that brings us to the big question we're asking today. What if the best way to advance isn't out, but up? What if you could become a true expert right where you are? And that, my friends, is where the specialist's path comes in. We're talking about becoming a Certified Instrument Specialist, or CIS. And trust me, this is way more than just another piece of paper to hang on the wall. It's a real commitment to mastering the whole science, and I'd say art, of surgical instruments. So what does that actually mean? Well, the HSPA, that's the Healthcare Sterile Processing Association, they define a CIS as an advanced specialist. This certification is formal recognition that you've got a higher level of knowledge, experience, and skill. You're not just a tech anymore, you become the go-to expert, the person they call when they have a real question about instrumentation. I mean, just look at this tray. Look at all that complexity. A CSAS is a master of this world. They understand the function, the assembly, the inspection of every single piece. Their job is to make sure each one is 100% perfect and safe for a patient. That's a huge responsibility. Okay, so maybe you're thinking, all right, I'm interested. I want to be that expert. So how do you actually do it? Let's break down the whole certification process step by step. It really boils down to two core requirements, and these are non-negotiable. First up, you have to already have your full CRCST certification. That's the bedrock. Second, you've got to document 200 hours of specific, hands-on experience. And this is important. It has to have been within the last 5 years. And those 200 hours aren't just random. HPSA has a very specific breakdown. As you can see here, a big chunk is decontamination and assembly and packaging, which makes sense. But they also want to see time in quality systems and even, get this, 8 hours of direct surgical observation. You got to be in the OR to see how these instruments are used. Think of this next slide as your personal study guide. The exam is divided into these 6 main areas, or domains. It basically covers the entire life of an instrument, right from decon and identification, through assembly, sterilization, all the way to quality systems. This right here, this is your roadmap for studying. Okay, let's hit some quick facts about the exam itself. It's on a computer, 150 multiple choice questions, you get 3 hours to do it. It's all run by HSPA, and the fee right now is $140. Pretty straightforward. All right, now lean in for a second because I've got some real insider knowledge for you. To pass the CISE exam, you have to know more than just your day-to-day routine. And one area that trips up a lot of people is sharpness testing. You absolutely have to know the specific materials and methods for this stuff. Seriously, you might want to screenshot this or write it down because these details are famous for showing up on the test. Remember, red test material is for big scissors, 4.5 inches or longer. Yellow is for the smaller ones, 4 inches or less, and that includes your laparoscopic scissors. A dowel rod, That's for testing osteotomes, and a simple piece of cardstock is for checking the cut on rongers. Knowing these little details can be the difference between passing and failing. So, we've gone through the what, the why, and the how, which leaves us with one last and maybe the most important question of all. After all that studying and all that work, what's the payoff? Is it actually worth it? Okay, let's talk numbers. According to data from PayScale, the average salary for a certified instrument specialist is $72,000 a year. Yeah, let that sink in. That's a major step up, and it directly reflects that higher level of expertise.
But, it's not just about the paycheck. That number is a reflection of your value. It represents the advanced knowledge you have, the huge responsibility on your shoulders, and the absolutely critical role you play in making surgery safe and successful. It's a sign of respect for your mastery of the craft.
So we've come full circle. We started by saying you're the backbone of surgery, the essential foundation that none of it can happen without. And that's true. But the final question is this: are you ready to become its brain? The indispensable expert that doctors and nurses rely on? The path is laid out for you.